Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot and a red state, utilizing Tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. I'm going to continue where I left off yesterday and going to keep continuing through this reading, which is the Charlie Kirk, freedom of speech, all of that thing. So where I want to move next into this is I want to look into the funeral memorial service, whatever you want to call it, extravaganza that they're having on the 21st. So this actually is going to be coming out at midnight on the 21st. So I want to look into that, just base reading into all of that and kind of see where that goes. Okay. As always, for entertainment purposes only. Okay. So just a base reading into this funeral memorial service. Trump is saying that he's attending. Vance is saying, I'm sure all of MAGA land is going to be there. So what is it that we need to know about, just base reading, looking into this funeral memorial service, whatever, celebration of life, whatever they're calling it, on Sunday the 21st. Base reading. What do we need to know? Okay, and with that, entertainment purposes only, messaging. A lot of, the very first thing that comes up is the message card, and the challenge to that is the King of Pentacles. The very first thing I thought of is don't speak ill of the dead. They are going to sane wash Charlie Kirk, which, honestly, that would be expected. We have to keep in, it's like part of me keeps in mind, like, his wife is a grieving widow with 2 small children. I am willing to cut her, some slack and grant grace, around that part of this. However, it's like, there's that, but then there's the over the top messaging and like what Charlie stood for, that they are going to really be sane washing that. And as I said, part of that is like, okay, like you expect some of that, but it's like the politicization and using it to justify taking away freedom of speech. That's the problem, okay? And that's going to be, because that's that challenge there. And I almost feel like there's what Charlie Kirk said and stood for, and like, okay, of course they're gonna, want to celebrate that, but it's the way they're using that and weaponizing his message to take away freedom of speech. That's where I feel like the problem is with that. It's not so much, of course they're going to say all these wonderful things about him. It's like, that would be expected. It's the weaponization of that message. That's the problem, okay? And then you get, they're just as happy as they can be. That's the happy couple under the wedding canopy. The Star card. The grieving, what I'm seeing with this is just that the grieving widow. And let me keep going, because I'm going to put more cards out on that. It's the Queen of Pentacles, her husband. How is she going to carry on her husband's legacy? How is she going to carry on her husband's message? Okay. And then the Sun card. What is she? This is all about her. This is all about, as I said, what's her name? Erica Kirk. Yeah, this is all about her and the message of her husband, and how she is now going to be the one who takes his message forward. Let me see, what is this messaging that they have that's coming out? Because I'm just feeling like there's like his platform and what he stood for, and then there's this other whole other thing that they're doing that with it that is not really what he stood for. And some of that is like, I'm seeing like what Vance did on his podcast, and it's like, no, Charlie didn't really stand for, they're scrubbing a lot of what he stood for, and they're trying to make it like more, they're trying to just make it an attack on the left. And so is that going to stand? Are they going to continue doing that? And I will say for her, for Erica Kirk, that, I mean, I'm not seeing that. Like, I really truly see like she is going to pick up the mantle of her husband's message, and she is going to be the one who then continues that forward. So, I want to know, is it going to be like, is this going to be weaponized? I guess what I'm saying is I don't feel like she specifically is weaponizing it. I feel like the people around, like the government, is going to be doing that. Like, that's not her intention. I mean, maybe it is. She's with her grieving right now. I don't want to put too much into what she will or won't do. Her main focus is her husband's message and carrying that forward. That's what I'm saying with this. But the people around her, are they going to be the ones manipulating this? Okay, and those around her, restrictions, trying to hold on, major transformation, trying to use his death to promote restrictions around our rights and our freedoms. The people rise up. People are not having this at all. And you get like return to happier times. This is also my MAGA card. I don't know if MAGA is going to be uprising. I know that some of them are posturing like, whoa, wait a minute. We're not going to put, what, freedom of speech? No, we're not going to do that. And then like, what have you won? The Five of Swords. Like looking at, I mean, really like, in the Spiral Tarot, I also get this as like you're left wanting. Like, what does this person want? Because these other people just like walked away. So it's like this feeling of promoting a narrative that everybody just turns their back on. That's what it is. And especially with this, the Judgment card, the Phoenix rising out of the ashes. The people know the truth, they hear the truth, and they're walking away from what they're trying to do. And I want to know, is this also MAGA? Because I know that, you've got Steve Bannon out there saying, what, attacking freedom of speech? We don't do that. And that Six of Cups. What is this? What do we need to know about that Six of Cups? Karma? Oh yeah, no, they are. Karma is a bitch. If the Democrats ever get back in charge, are they going to do this to us? And there's some concern and worries about that. And it's like, no, we actually believe in human rights. We believe in freedom of speech. I mean, it'd be nice if there was some facts in there. And so that is kind of. So yeah, I think they're a little worried about some retaliation there. Now, in my previous reading right before this, and just in case you're a new viewer and didn't see that last one, and if you're sitting there going, I'm agreeing with the questions that Candace Owens has, and I'm agreeing with, like Steve Bannon and freedom of speech, what we're going to do is we're going to be cautiously optimistic, okay? We're going to, whenever we hear, like, are they making sense? One, we're rooting for the leopards. A broken clock is right twice a day. And we're going to be careful with agreeing with them. And this is why. Our tent, we believe in human rights. Period. And unless they start walking back, all of their hateful rhetoric towards, like minorities and women and the LGBTQ community, then, we're going to be cautious, okay? They're not walking back all of their hateful rhetoric. They're only concerned about freedom of speech and what's going to happen to them. Okay, what's going to happen? How is it that Pam Bondi is going to define hate speech? Okay, that's what they're concerned about. So yeah, there may be a little bit of agreement, but let's be real clear about what we're agreeing on and what we disagree on. And what we disagree on is, human rights. We don't cherry pick them. Okay. So with what's going to happen on Sunday, what I'm getting is that you're going to see a grieving widow, of course, and that her where she is right now is she's in a place of wanting to carry her husband's message forward. Okay. You have other actors that are wanting to utilize this as a way to to politicize it, to weaponize it, and to take away people's freedom of speech. I think that when Erica Kirk I don't want to say, okay, the way my intuition works is that my spirit guides, they give me these feelings and I have to like put them into words. And I'm like, okay, so like when she calms down, I mean, like, surely you're not, it's like, no, not calm down. So, but um, uh, when she's not in this, acute state of grieving, when she kind of has time for like that dust to settle, I really don't think that I don't think that she's going to commit to taking freedom of speech away. That's what I'm saying with that. I think that right now, that grief of hers is being weaponized and utilized by nefarious actors. Because I mean, I really do see like she truly believes her husband's message and that that's what she wants to do. And that there's nothing here saying that she has any intention of utilizing it to take away freedom of speech, and that at some point when she kind of I'm trying to like she's had a moment to really truly grieve and gets kind of past this first moment, that she's gonna there's gonna be some changes. That's what I'm saying. And that yeah, that house of cards, that tower card is going to keep yeah, she is when she realizes that her husband's message is being used for hate, I think that's when she is going to. And I know I was not expecting to have this reading come out like I'm a Erica Kirk. I can empathize with her to the degree of like losing her husband and wanting to carry on his message. That's the feeling I'm getting, and that it's those around her that are using her and his message for nefarious reasons. Okay. So that's kind of what I'm getting, and that's kind of what we're going to see. Where am I at on time here? Let me ask, what will we see from the government on Sunday? What is the government? And by government, like J.D. Vance, Trump's supposed to speak. It looks like it's going to be, his memorial service is going to be like a MAGA rally. So let's see, what is the messaging going to be, not necessarily from her, but from the government, from the Trump administration? What is this messaging going to be? The Tower card. Okay. I will keep going with that. And the Lover's card. Okay. Let me keep going with this. The truth comes out. A lot of major arcana, like the first, I mean, these are all major arcana cards. And the Decision and the False Friend. Give me just a moment here to look at this. The here and now is the shit hits the fan, the decision's made. I'm really feeling like they're really trying to move this narrative. Like they're trying to move, like what they're saying, like this message is like a false friend. Like nobody is believing it. That's really the feeling I'm getting. Like the Hanged Man. No, like I just like look at this going, the people don't believe it. The Tower card, this all falls apart. The Lover's card, the agreements, like release the Epstein files. that's like this all falls apart. Release the Epstein files. Like they've not been able to move this news story. The legal actions that are going to be. There is going to be legal repercussions to what they've been trying to do. I am going to be going into the Jimmy Kimmel stuff in the next reading on this. So, yeah, I think it's through the legal actions of everyday people that this is going to be, the truth comes out. And this Knight of Cups. And this could even be just like learning the truth, like through these, through legal actions. Learning the truth. Yeah. The truth is there. The truth is there. You have to seek, Seek the answers and you'll find them. The people uprise. I mean, you guys, I get this card so much. And then another knight. And this is the Knight of Wands that I've got coming up. I'm just curious, what's my bottom card? Be patient. Temperance coming together. Okay, so messaging, and these are facing each other. Hopes, wishes, dreams. The fire in this. I'm going to pause this just for a moment, okay? Okay, I just wanted to take a minute to kind of look at this, and I didn't want you guys just to sit there while I'm sitting here in silence. Okay, so what I am feeling with these is, because I was looking at these two knights, and the way they came up, they're facing each other. What we're going to get from Saturday or Sunday is this emotional message. There's a very emotional message and the action that they're wanting to take with this emotional message. When I put more cards out on it, you get this Knight of Wands, and this is the communication. This is a very fiery card. And I think this is kind of, I'm getting the feeling of like just standing and saying no. Like it's just a very, there's a lot of fire with this card, but I always see this card as like a hesitation. Like, we're not going to have rash action. We're going to stand in our truth and say no. You know, we've got the law on our side. We have, like, instead of emotional action, the legal action is going to be like a more practical approach action. And it's like setting healthy boundaries. I know that the Knight of Pentacles should come up with that if I'm thinking that stuff, but this is more like the, like letting, I'm seeing the we're going to speak through the filings. Like, that's that there's going to be a lot of legal cases coming out of what it is that this administration is doing. And so that's going to be the response. Like, we don't have to take, like action, like the action is going to be legal action. That's, and the filings. And that through that, the truth is going to be coming out, and the people, we get people uprising with this. I always get the Judgment card. That's that Pluto energy of when the truth comes out. This is going to be, there's that Tower card. The Tower card and the Judgment card come up together. Happiness after our worst nightmare, and walking away, going into a new direction. So with this part of it, this marathon reading that I'm doing for these next several days, there is the normal grieving, widow response, and not faulting her whatsoever for that. Everybody needs to, afford her some grace. Okay, said that. And I really do mean that. I really, like, I don't feel her in a space that she really wants to weaponize her husband's message. And I kind of get the feeling like when she realizes kind of what's been done, she's not going to be happy. Expect a lot of, and I mean, honestly, with this could be the fire and brimstone messaging that comes out on Sunday. However, anything that they try to do, one, it's at odds with each other, and you've got the legal action that's going to be taken to stop this. Okay, and that it all falls apart on them. The people uprise when the truth is, comes to light. So that's kind of what to expect on Sunday. I am feeling a lot of anxiety, like that Nine of Cups or that Nine of Swords, the anxiety and the worry that we're going to be feeling. And we've been feeling it. It's like, did they just like declare all of us a part of a terrorist group? What? I know, no, peaceful protesting is everything that we've always, talked about. So, yeah, I think that Sunday it feels like a lot of anxiety, but it also feels like there's going to be a lot of like legal response to whatever it is that they try to do. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me. Next up, I'm going to be looking at Jimmy Kimmel. And as I said, I'm planning on releasing these just all one right after another each day. If something gets moved, they will be posted in order. If there's some kind of breaking news and I have to interrupt, like that schedule, I will put that in the posts that, okay, it really is going to be like, I'll let you guys know that. So thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. I'll put another reading up here for you to watch. Like, subscribe, share, all that great stuff, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.